there, my kitties. See what I did there? See? Kitty. Today I'm doing a little gameplay review of Super Paper Mario for the Nintendo Wii. Hopefully you guys enjoy this, because this is the first time I'm doing a, I guess you could say, a hardcore editing montage clip. I hope I don't make too much of a fool of myself on camera, and let's get started. As with any previous Paper Mario game, there's always an opening cinematic. That opening cinematic that tells you what's happening with the game and what the story is before you even start the game. Now, you can go ahead and watch through this entire cutscene yourself, but if you're a complete Dutch like me who doesn't really look into these type of things, you're just going to accidentally skip it. Oops. After that, you are greeted with the game's main title theme, and gosh, isn't this song so lovely? It just gets me so in the mood to play Paper Mario. Okay, so aside from the music, let's get started with the game. Now's the time where I get to pick my name. What will my name be? Perfect. So like the previous Paper Mario games, you always start off with Mario and Luigi at the beginning of the game in their house talking and or reading a letter from PaulydaKitty. There's no letter from PaulydaKitty here? Okay, besides the point, you start off in Mario's house with your brother Luigi, and Luigi is complaining about how boring and dull it is and hoping that something sort of kablooey, I'm not kidding here, kablooey, will happen. Other than the homage to the two previous Mario games that they actually made. Oh hey, look at that. The game starts off rather differently. Unlike other games in the Mario franchise, this game starts off rather differently. Unlike most Mario games where you got some form of letter from Princess Peach either inviting you to a party or doing whatever type of diabolical plan our princess has for us, you start off with the Toad alerting us that our princess, surprise surprise, has gotten captured. Now the question is, who could have done it? If you guessed Bowser, you're wrong. If you know anything about the Paper Mario franchise, you'll know that Bowser was only the main antagonist for the first game. In the second and third game, they sort of mixed it up a little bit and sort of tried to bring in new antagonists, which I really like and enjoy. The antagonist in this game is known as none other than the very lovable third-person talking Count Bleck. He practically introduces himself by only mentioning his name, Count Bleck. During the first cutscene in which you actually talk to Count Bleck, you will hear the phrase, "By Count Bleck is Count Bleck," repeated over and over and over again. Get a silly voice ready, cause it's time to talk in Count Bleck. The chosen executor of the Dark Monasticus is Count Bleck. The fine fellow prophesied to come to the dimension is also Count Bleck. I'll tell you who doesn't make even a little bit of sense. Count Bleck. Besides being the oddest speaking antagonist in any game that I've ever played, Count Bleck is actually a really cool antagonist. While Bowser might be trying to take over the Mushroom Kingdom, Count Bleck aims for much higher. He plans to destroy all worlds. Talk about a guy with issues. The only way that Count Bleck can destroy all worlds, however, is if he completes the Dark Monasticus, which states, a fair and lovely princess, a furious monster king. The union of these two will call forth the Chaos Heart, the consumer of worlds. Luckily for us, however, we have the Light Prognosticus, which states that the hero with the power of the 8 pure hearts will rise to the task. Like the original Super Mario Bros., this game consists of 8 worlds and 4 sub-levels. 4 levels for each world. Now, this is very, I guess you could say, reminiscent of the original Super Mario Bros., considering some levels are actually based around the design of Super Mario Bros. So this is one big throwback to the old side-scroller fashion. But how much of a throwback is it, you may ask? Well, let's get right into the gameplay. In order to progress in the game, you need to collect the 8 pure hearts. Putting each pure heart into the stone pillar will open up the way into a new world. Once the world has opened up to you, you are able to go inside and collect the next pure heart, which will then lead you to the next pure heart, and so on. This game controls differently than the previous Paper Mario games. Mario no longer controls with an analog stick. You hold the Wii controller sideways and you use the directional key to move, using 2 to jump and 1 to use your pixel. We'll get into pixels later. This game incorporated a new feature into the Paper Mario franchise, which was called 3D flipping. Now this is one of the things that made a lot of people kind of disappointed in the series or in this game in general, because a lot of people didn't like the idea of the 3D flip or how they incorporated this game in general. But I personally feel that it's such a great game that it really shouldn't be overlooked because of this. The 3D flip added another puzzle element into the game. The 3D flip made it so you had to use it in order to progress farther into the game, by giving you obstacles that otherwise could not be crossed while side-scrolling. It also allowed for a hidden collectible to be more cleverly hidden throughout the game's level design. Now let's get into pixels. The first pixel you manage to collect is named Tippy. Tippy is practically your equivalent to Goombella or Goombario from the previous Mario games. However, Tippy is a unique pixel as you do not use the 1 button in order to control her. To use Tippy, you point your Wii remote at the screen and you hover over the object you want to scan. Once Tippy is over the object, enemy, or item you want to scan, you press A for Tippy to give you information upon it. Tippy can even uncover hidden doors and blocks. And while Tippy is a pixel, she does in fact play a major role in the story, but at risk of ruining that for you, I'm not going to tell you because I love you. Give me a kiss. Now let's talk about the other pixels. They seem more like sea items that you would equip in The Legend of Zelda in any game ever. You equip them for a certain amount of time and only use them to solve puzzles. Like Tippy, each individual pixel has its own personality. However, these only appear during scripted sequences, such as getting the pure heart at the end of its stage. Speaking about the end of the stages, let's talk about the bosses, because they are the best thing ever, and I absolutely love their face, and this one's so funny, and Each boss has its own creative design, most of them with their own funny personalities and their ways of interpreting a problem. There's even a robotic dragon that will come out and try to eat you. Most of these bosses are really well thought out and funny, and they often incorporate the pixel you got in that dungeon in order to defeat it. While there is a lot more that I could say about the bosses, I think it's just better if you go out and you get the game and you experience them for yourself, because there's not really much for me to tap on without sounding a bit odd. There are also 3 other characters in this game that you can play as besides Mario, which I am not going to spoil for you, but you can go ahead, go out there, purchase this game, bring it home, smack it into your Wii, and just have a grand old time, because this game's amazing. I give it a 10 out of 10.
And I got really lazy at the end of this review, so I decided to do this instead.
If you guys really enjoyed this, please leave a like, comment down below, and tell me how I can improve, or what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. Go ahead and subscribe to Yeousch Recruits, because these guys are awesome. They really do help out the community a whole bunch. And if you really like what I do, look down in the description. There's a link somewhere. I know it. They put it down there. And go ahead and press the subscribe button once you are on my channel, and you will see more of that from me in the future, I promise. And I will see you guys next time.